Hey friends, and welcome back to our channel. Now, if you know anything about Utah, you probably know how spectacular our outdoor activities are. From skiing to hiking to biking, there's something for everyone. Now, one thing we particularly love about living in Ogden is its proximity to the beautiful mountain ranges and how close you are to some of the best hiking trails around.
Today, we're going to show you 5 of Ogden's top hikes and tell you a little bit more about the area so you can decide which ones are going to be best for you. We've got some easy hikes that are geared for everyone of every age and level to some more difficult hikes for more experienced hikers. Now, this is just a little sampling of the hiking trails in Utah and even just right here in Ogden. Stick around, we're going to show you the top 5 hikes in Ogden.
If this is your first time to this channel and you want to know everything about living, eating, sleeping, working, and playing here in northern Utah and cities like Ogden, then subscribe below and tap the bell for notifications so you can be the first to know about the current market here in northern Utah.
We are Sloan and Kim Peterson with the Peterson Group. We've been in the real estate business for 10 years, and every day we help people just like you looking to buy, sell, or invest here in northern Utah, and we absolutely love it. Whether you're looking to move in 9 days or 90 days, give us a call, shoot us a text, or send us an email. All the information's in the description below so we can help you make that smooth transition to cities like Ogden or here to northern Utah in general.
Okay, we are here on trail number 1, and today we are starting from the easiest hike to the hardest hike. So trail number 1 is called Birdsong Trail, and it's a 2.4-mile loop hike that offers beautiful scenery of the surrounding mountains and also a unique bird sanctuary. It is one of the trails that is open year-round, and it's beautiful to visit any time of the year. This trail takes you through 6 springs, a pond, and a lot of beautiful bird watching. So even if you aren't necessarily a real big hiker, this is a great trail to come bird watching, just to kind of walk around and take in some nature. One thing I will say is even though my top half is a little bit more dressed up, as you can see, I am still wearing my hiking shoes because even though this is an easier trail and there are some easy trails in Utah, most of the terrain is natural. So it is rocky. So you want to make sure you have appropriate footwear. Sometimes I'll come in sandals and Sloan will take me on an unexpected hike and he's always annoyed because I don't have appropriate footwear. So if you are going to take a walk or a hike, make sure you come prepared. And along those same lines, always make sure you bring plenty of water, snacks, and some warm clothing in a pack with you, as Utah's temperature is always so temperamental in nature. You never know when you might get an unexpected rainstorm or anything like that, even in the dead of summer. So make sure you always are going prepared. Okay, I'll end on those tips. That is Birdsong Trail for you. We'll take you on a little tour of the walk around so you can kind of see the trail, and then we'll take you on over to the next hike.
All right, so this next trail is also just a 2.4-mile hike. It does take you past a beautiful waterfall. So we're on a trail called Waterfall Canyon, and just like the name suggests, you're gonna get beautiful views of the canyon, and also it takes you by a waterfall when you get towards the end of the trail. This trail is considered a moderate hike, and it does have access for both bikers and just hikers, and it does have a few trails right below it, one that is just for hikers only, and then ones that are just for bicyclists only, which is awesome to kind of get that segregation if you want to. The trail we're on now though does allow both of them, but it's a little bit of a wider trail. It does allow for you to have that room for people to pass you, and to kind of be courteous to each other. It is a really popular trail, so that's one good thing to note. If you are hiking alone, you can have that sense of security that if something were to happen to you, you would be found pretty quickly. As I've been here, I've already seen probably 10 people come through, and we're here just midday on the weekday. So on the Saturdays and Fridays especially, it does get pretty busy, so you can feel safe if you're out just hiking by yourself. All right, so a bonus about this trail is that it actually is open year-round. So if you have ever thought about snowshoeing or wanting to get into some winter hiking, this would definitely be a good trail to try that out. Again, if you are hiking alone, you would be you would have other people out here as well hiking, and so it could be a safe way to enjoy or try something new on your own. So as we talked about in some of our other videos, Utah is a very pet-friendly state, so Pets are allowed on the trail. You just have to have your dogs on leashes, make sure they're, not disrupting other guests on the trail. All right, so hopefully that showed you a little bit about this trail, and maybe we'll see you on it sometime. We're gonna go ahead and take you over to the next trail.
Okay, so trail number 3 is what's known as Milan's Peak. It is a 4.5 mile out and back hike. It's one of the more difficult hikes in Utah, but if you make it to the top, what's known as the peak, then you will be rewarded with beautiful panoramic views. While this is a short hike, it is one of the more challenging ones, so just be aware of that in terms of the terrain. Make sure you come prepared for that. You might think, oh, it's only 4.5 miles, so I don't have to bring maybe extra snacks or anything like that, but just make sure you come prepared. It's a great area for backpacking, hiking, and camping, so a ton of fun activities here. And actually, the recommended times to come is March through October because of heavy snowpack. And actually, speaking of snow, it is almost July, and you can see it's still snowy up on the mountain because we have had such a hard winter. So even though those are the recommended times, obviously it's going to vary from year to year. Strong hikers can actually make it past the basin to Milan Summit, which is a really popular camping site for hikers. So that pretty much wraps up this area of Milan's Peak. Now let's go take you on a little tour of the trail so you can see a little bit of what that looks like.
All right, guys, so one of the most popular trails is the Bonneville Shoreline Connection type trails. You probably noticed on some of the other shots that we've shown you, seen some of them are called Bonneville Shoreline Trails. So these trails connect all over the state, all the way to Salt Lake, all the way down here, you think even to Logan and stuff. So this one that we're talking about today is gonna be the Mount Ogden Trail, and it's quite long. Even the trail behind me, it goes to, the Ben Lomond Peak and then Willard Peak as well. It's about 23 miles there and back, so it is a pretty good hike. There are little pieces of it though that you can just take. You can mountain bike, you can climb. You can't use any motorized vehicles, so it does have to be, you're pedaling or walking, something like that. But you can, go here all year round as well. So it does have snowshoeing that you can do. It's open, like one of the other trails we talked about earlier. It is open year round. All right, so the Mount Ogden Trail is about 5.8 miles long, the loop part that I'm talking about. It's considered a moderately hiking trail, so you don't have to be in crazy good shape to hike this one. It does just have kind of a rolling type of hill, and it does switch back. One of the things that a lot of Ogden residents love about this trail is, unlike one of the other trails we were on earlier, right? It is more of a solitude type trail, so there's not a lot of people. You will see people coming a little bit, but really you could hike out here for an hour or so and not see one person out here. So make sure if you are coming, you're coming with a buddy, or you do have your own first aid kit and things that you could take as far as safety precautions as well. There are like mountain lions, there's bears, there's things like that that are going to be on the trail. I've personally never seen any wildlife like that, but the higher you get on the trail, like if you're going the whole 20 miles, then you might start seeing some of that wildlife, and there are tips and tricks on how you can kind of deal with that kind of wildlife. One of the cool things about this trail as well is, like we talked about having, from moderate to, heavier difficulty, is a lot of rock climbers do like climbing the Ben Lomond Peak as well, because there are pieces of it where you can actually scale the face of it and, get into more of that extreme type of hiking and mountain climbing. All right, so that wraps up the Bonneville Shoreline Mount Ogden part of the trail. I hope you enjoyed that, and hopefully we'll see you on the trail sometime. Let's go ahead and head over to our next trail.
Okay, last but not least, we're gonna wrap it up with the Ogden River Parkway Trail. Now this trail isn't necessarily difficult, but it is a 17-mile out and back trail. So just keep in mind it is one of the longer trails here in Ogden. But if you are looking to just get out for a big part of your day, kind of enjoy nature, spend your time outside, this is a beautiful trail. It's a beautiful trail to, I joke, it says hike, but really walk because it's not really a hike. On average, it does take about 5 hours and 11 minutes to complete. So again, a longer trail to walk, but not necessarily difficult. It runs all along the Ogden River, so you do get that beautiful sound of the river flowing, and a lot of it is shaded. So it's a really nice walk to take if you are going in the heat of summer. It's a scenic area that's good for walking, running, biking, and it does pass the botanical gardens and the dinosaur park. So again, very scenic, beautiful trail. And this is another trail that is open year round, so it is nice to come all times of the year. They keep it clean even in the winter most of the time, so you can really come all year long. There are areas of the trail that take you through some really wooded, deep nature type habitats, so it's really beautiful if you just like that quiet, serene, in nature type of feel. One of the really cool things about this trail is that there are spots all along the trail where you can actually go down to the river and fish, and we see people doing that all the time. So if that is something that's a hobby of yours, definitely check out this trail. This is definitely one of Sloan and my favorite trails to bike because you can go a long distance without a lot of stop and go, and again, it's mostly flat, so it's not too difficult. So if you are kind of like a beginner to moderate biker that just kind of wants to work on distance, this is a great trail for that. One thing to keep in mind though, especially this year with all the snowfall we've gotten, but it has definitely happened in years past right after winter, sometimes that runoff will actually flood the river in certain parts of the trail and you won't be able to walk those parts, or if you are, you're kind of wading through them. So definitely keep that in mind if you are coming at certain times of the year. All right, there you have it. That is the Ogden River Trail Parkway.
Well, friends, we hope you enjoyed this video and got to see some of the natural beauty that Utah and Ogden has to offer. Again, this is really just a small snippet of the trails we'll be taking you to. If you have any questions or you want to see more of a specific trail, let us know and we love to do that in a future video for you.
We hope you enjoyed this video and found it helpful. Picking where you'll call home is an important decision, and we would love to help you make that smooth transition here to Utah and cities like Ogden. If you're looking to purchase in the northern Utah area, we would love to help you out. Give us a text, shoot us a call, or send us an email, and until next time, we're keeping it real estate.